Hey, this is Nick Nilsson, the Mad Scientist of Muscle, and what I've got for you today here is a review of the All-American Fitness Bar. Now, I've used this bar extensively over the past few months, and I have to say I really like this. It's extremely versatile. You can move the handles around, you can change the angles of the handle. What I'm going to do here is run through a bunch of different exercises to show you, beyond just doing something like barbell curls, what else you can do with this piece of equipment. Now, I'm going to go through like maybe 6 to 7 exercises, and then I'm going to finish up and wrap it up here and give you my full rundown on what this bar is really like. So watch these exercises, and I think you'll get a lot out of this. So the next exercise I'm going to show you is the Barbell Row. Now this is where this bar really shines. The bump out that you get on it is very much like a trap bar, and it's really effective for setting yourself within the weight so that you're not moving it around your knees and you're getting a direct line of pull on your back muscles. Very simple matter of setting the bar's handles out to the sides here, gripping, getting in position. I'll show you the straight on view here as well. You just get your knees right within the bar, and then the bar just goes straight up and down. You can also change the orientation of the handles, like so. Very simple, very easy. Just push the buttons, tilt the handles, and you've got yourself more of a wide grip row. Like I said, this is actually one of the places where I find this bar really shines. Setting yourself within the weight, taking your knees out of the equation, is really going to let you fire your back muscles very strongly. So the next exercise is a barbell shoulder press. Now, the beauty of this is it puts your hands in a neutral position, which is going to really target the side delts very effectively. It's something you can't really do with a barbell shoulder press. Those primarily focus on the front delts. So having your hands in that, basically what to be a W press position, is really effective for hitting those side delts. So when you're gripping the bar, make sure these buttons are pointed straight up and the camber part is down. You want that camber going to be in front of your face as you're doing the exercise. So get the bar up into position and then press. Here's the straight on view. Now, the only thing that can make that one better would be the ability to move the handles out a little bit further. That's going to involve a lot of triceps when you're doing the exercise because it's a fairly close-in grip. But bottom line, it's a very effective shoulder exercise using this bar. In addition to using the bar as resistance, you can actually use it as apparatus as well. You can do push-ups directly on the bar handles, especially if you don't have push-up handles that you can use for that. So, simple matter, just get your hands set upon the things just like you would for a press or an extension. Get into position, and then perform the exercise. Very simple, very straightforward. Now for working your legs, this bar gives you some great options here as well. So what I'm going to show you is power clean to front squat. Now you're going to power clean the bar into position like so. The neutral grip is a lot easier on your shoulders, a lot easier on your elbows than a clean grip on the front squat. So if you don't have a rack to work with, you don't have the ability to do the crossover grip, all you can do is the clean grip, and maybe that hurts your elbows too much. It doesn't work for me at all. This version is excellent. The handle position, and I'll show you from the side and from the front, keeps you in a neutral position, and it keeps the bar kind of like almost like a safety squat position. So really allows you to get a lot of good quad work in while really torching your core. This is a great one for core training. Take a fairly close stance here, and then fling it up in kind of a modified power clean. And then here's the front view. As you can see, got my hands in this neutral position. main thing that's going to limit you with this exercise is how much weight you can clean into position by yourself. Now, it may not be enough for squats, but you can also use this exercise position for lunges and for split squats. I'll give you a quick demo on that here too. Now, I mentioned this exercise position is a great one for targeting the core. Now, the reason it is that good is when you've got it in this position, the handles are out front here. You're exerting a pushing force, a pressing force with the stabilizing muscles of the core. So locking that in, your arms have to be clenched in. It's the core that's really supporting that weight. So as you're doing the exercise, similar to a front squat, you're getting that core contraction to stabilize the torso. Only in this case, because the weight and the resistance is a little further in front, you're actually getting a greater effect for core stabilization even than the front squat. So great core exercise in addition to working the legs. Now, this bar actually also kind of doubles as a trap bar deadlift bar. You can use this very, very effectively for doing trap bar deadlifts. Make sure that's tight enough there. I've got 4 plates loaded on either side. Because the weight of the bar is a little bit less, it puts the actual weight in probably at about 365 to 375. I'm guessing I haven't weighed the actual bar. But because of that camber, because of your hand placement, you're sitting right inside the weight, just like you would with a trap bar deadlift. So the movement is exactly the same. Now, as far as load limits, this is about it. I wouldn't load the bar any heavier than 4 plates on a side. So, you know, it does give you a lot of options up until then, but if you're going heavier than that, then you really need to start getting into more specialized equipment like an actual trap bar or a straight bar deadlift. But let me give you a quick demo on that so you can see exactly that this thing actually can take pretty substantial loads. So as you can see, there's a bit of bend in the bar, but not so much that I'm really worried about this thing breaking. So now we move into shrugs. Now, there's 2 ways you can do shrugs. You can get this bar deadlifted into the top position and do shrugs standing. One of the best ways I find to do shrugs is actually kneeling. It takes a lot of the extraneous movement out of it, because basically all you can do is traps here. There's nothing else you can add into the movement, so it's a lot of direct tension onto the traps. It takes a lot of the leg action out of it so that you can really focus on working the right muscles. So just like a trap bar, you're sitting right inside, right in the middle of the weight, so you're not dragging the bar up your legs or behind you. All you have to do straight up trap training. This is a great bar for doing this. Like I said, kneeling, I prefer it, but you can also do standing as well. Now, I showed you how to use the bar as apparatus using push-ups. You can also do this for chin-ups, especially if you've got a rack that you can set this bar across. The ends fit pretty much just perfectly right inside the rack. Set your rails as high as they can go, and then just grab onto the handles. And then you can do neutral grip chin-ups, especially if you don't have any other option for doing neutral grip, or you want to do straight up and down kind of movement. So, simple, just like so. Now the only drawback is obviously with this, the height of your rack. I'm actually kneeling down at the bottom here, so if I was going to do straight sets, I would actually keep my knees off the ground and do continuous tension reps, stopping a bit short of full stretch at the bottom. Another great exercise for getting your legs with this bar is the barbell hack squat. Now, if you can do the hack squat with a straight bar. It's a great old school bodybuilding exercise. For me, I've never found it to be good. It always puts a lot of extra stress on the lower back, forces me to round over a little too much. This one, you get that cambered part around behind you, you can do the hack squat, target your legs very effectively without that back strain. So, it's very similar to a deadlift, but that cambered part goes around the back of your legs.
that bar behind hits the quads a lot more than a trap bar deadlift. It's very effective for training the legs. So the next exercise is the lying tricep extension. Now this is a great version to use with this bar because you can use a neutral grip and it's a lot easier on the elbows. So that's one of the key things I look for, is how the training equipment affects the joints. And the ability to use a neutral grip, excellent. So here's what it looks like. I like to do it on the floor. I find it's easier to get the bar in a position than I do with a regular bar, cambered bar, easy bar, whatever. So get the cambered part facing up on top. Because what this bar is going to allow you to do with that camber is to bring the bar that handles down beside your head. The bar is not going to crush your skull like it normally would with an easy bar. So having these handles here, having that bar kind of bowed out in front of you, really allows for greater range of motion. So get yourself in position, and you can see, even in the starting position here, with these 25-pound plates on here, and with the smaller blue plates, I'm starting right at the bottom position, rather than having to get everything into position and really take a lot of time to do that. So. And you can also use this bar for close grip bench press as well. Very simple, same exact movement. But using a close grip. And using a neutral grip, I should say. So. Now, if you want to load that close grip more, obviously just use bigger weight plates. So as you can see, the All-American Fitness Bar, very versatile piece of equipment. It's very solidly built. I really like this thing. I actually use it all the time for a variety of different exercises. But I've really taken to the rowing and the trap movements with this one, in addition to the front squat one. I just absolutely love that one. I think it's a phenomenal exercise. Now, the only things I might kind of adjust with this bar if I had my druthers, make it a little bit more solid. I'd like to use it for even heavier deadlifts or even heavier shrugs. It does work great for farmer's walks too, so you can really load up the weight on this up to about approximately 400 pounds. In addition, and this is a small criticism by the way, I'd like it if these handles had some knurling on them, so you could actually get a more solid grip on here. Once your hands get a little bit sweaty, because the metal is smooth, they do kind of slide around just a little bit, but what I'm probably going to do to alleviate that is actually get some grip tape that you put on like bats and stuff, just wrap that around a few times. Should be good to go, but that might be something that I would suggest as far as making improvements to the bar. So bottom line, those negatives, very, very small in my opinion. This bar is extremely versatile. It's perfect for home gym trainers. You can do so many different exercises with it. You can work legs, upper body, shoulders, everything. Now, very solidly built and very effective. Definitely a bar I'd recommend.